Assalamu alaikum, namaste, and welcome everybody to the Newsa with your favorite host in those Jennifer Rogers. And if you're new to our channel, do not forget to share this video with all your friends and family so they are aware about all the things happening in Qatar and all around the world. And with that, we are also available on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter where we post a lot of interesting content and it's just for you. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is also called Qatar Day, and do not forget to check out our other channel, which is called qatarday.com. And with that, let me start with the news for today. I have about 3 local news and 2 international, so let's just get into it. The first one being the FIFA boss Infantino rules out holding Qatar World Cup without fans. Now, this competition will take place in the winter for the first time ever from the November 21st to December 18. Infantino told the journalist in Zurich that there will be enough time by the end of 2022 to contain the coronavirus pandemic. He noted that while the health crisis represents a threat to football right now, it should be contained by the time the World Cup arrives. Infantino described preparations for FIFA World Cup 2022 as impressive during a whistle-stop tour for the country 2 weeks ago. Infantino met with tournament organizers and took part in a 7-a-side match at Al Bayt Stadium, a 60,000 capacity venue designed to resemble a traditional Arab tent. The striking arena will be inaugurated in the coming months and has been confirmed as a venue for the opening game of the tournament. What he said was it's an absolute pleasure to play football in this amazing stadium where on 21st November 2020 we will kick off the greatest FIFA World Cup ever. Al Bayt Stadium is incredible, a true football stadium. It has a real football feel and a local touch. The tent shape makes it truly unique and the Arab patterns on the roof are just beautiful. He said, "I'm speechless." Now with this, let me get to the second update of the day where more shopping centers, supermarkets, delivery apps have all withdrawn French products in Qatar. So all outlets of food, family centers and family marts have joined the campaign and is removing all French products from their shelves. More shopping centers and delivery apps have joined the campaign to remove the French products from their shelves and apps in solidarity with the Boycott French Product campaign. The move comes after many people on social media platforms called to boycott of French products after a recent speech by the French president. The new Indian supermarket and the retail mart hypermarket announced today that they have started withdrawing French products from its branches in response to the customers' call to boycott all French products. Earlier, Almira had also announced that it started withdrawing all French products from its branches. Hashtag on boycotting the French products have gone viral in the Arab world recently on social media, users condemning the anti-Islam attitude in the European country following the killing of a teacher who showcased his class the caricatures of Prophet Muhammad. Some offensive statements made by the French president against Islam and Muslims and his support for the Republican of the caricatures during the memorial services for the murdered teacher. Samuel Beth has also drawn sharp criticism in the Arab world. On its social media account, Al Raqwanat has made a similar announcement stating the withdrawal of French products from all its branch until further notice. We emphasize that we, a national company working according to vision consistent with our true religion, our establishment, customs and traditions, in a way that serves our country, our faith and meets the aspirations of our customer, the post added. Now with this, the Apex Court judge recommended criminal proceeding against the law minister and the others. So the long-awaited detailed judgment in the Justice of Qazi Faiz Isa case was finally delivered, with Justice Yahya Afridi's dissenting note surprising many as it recommended criminal proceedings against law minister Naseem and asset recoveries, Chairman Mirza Shahzad Akbar among the others. Now in a 24-page judgment, Justice Afridi also declared that the President Afri Alvi failed to discharge his constitutional obligations as ordained under Article 2009 of 5 of the Constitution by showing blatant and uncalled of obedience to the advice of the Prime Minister for filing the reference against a sitting judge of the Apex Court. In his dissenting note, Justice Afridi, who had earlier dismissed Justice Issa's petitions about allowed supervising bar petitions against the the presidential reference, has given a detailed reasoning as to why he reached such conclusions and for what reason the law minister and others have exposed themselves to criminal proceedings of this view. The direction of the law material and the ARU chairman to obtain and receive confidential information regarding the income tax return of Justice Issa and Serena Issa prima facie exposed them to the criminal prosecution of having committed an offence under section 999 read with the section 198 and 216 of the ordinance, Justice Afridi stated in the judgment. Now let me get to the international part of the day, which is Pakistan's Sakrudu set for a new world mark. The Pakistan Federal Baseball PFB is gearing up to set a new world record, presently held by the US, when it exhibits matches between Pakistan greens and white teams in the Sakrudu city on October 31st. At the highest altitude of about 7,000 feet, besides staging an inter-district championship in the state. Currently, Denver, Colorado in US is the highest baseball playing point, up to 5,130 feet, while Sakrudu is located at an altitude of around 7,310. Another exhibition baseball match was staged in Gilith on November 3rd. The subject of organizing these matches at a highest altitude by Pakistan has already been highlighted by the World Baseball Federation on its website. Now, the PFB President Syed Fakhar Ali said while addressing a press conference here at the Office of Sports Journalists Association of Lahore, due to the cold weather currently prevailing in this area, it is not easy to hold the matches. However, the PFB has arranged a special kit for the players to meet all the necessary challenges of the harsh weather here. To question, however, he added, saying all the arrangements were made on self-help basis without any assistance from the government. We hope that beside the private sector, the federal and other government in regards would come forward to play this role, as country would earn a unique, honorable honor by globally staging basketball matches at the highest altitude. For the last 10 days, the PFB has been in contact with the government at different levels, and hopefully soon it will come forward to help out for its national cause. Now with this, let me get to the second update of the day, which is Thai democracy movements woos fresh protest after the PM snub. The prominent leaders of Thailand pro-democracy movements vowed to return to the streets on Sunday to protest against the premier after the deadline of him to resign was ignored. The former military chief, who staged the 2014 coup in facing pressure for the student-led movement that had organized massive demonstration of the months calling of his resignation. They regarded his hold on power, renewed after last year's widely disputed election, as illegitimate, and on Wednesday gave him 3 days to step down. As a deadline to resign by 10 p.m. Saturday came and went, activist Pai said that protesters would turn out in force on Sunday at a major Bangkok intersection. We hear that the answer from the Prime Minister to all our requests. The crowd outside Bangkok's remand prison were protesters and have gathered to call for the release of the fellow activist. Tomorrow, as citizens, we will protest against him at 4 p.m. He remains resolted on Saturday while attending a prayer ceremony for the country at a heroic Bangkok temple, saying all problems can be solved through compromise. The government has real intentions to solve problem as long as it's under the line of law. He told the reporters, adding that he won't quit. Anyways, with that, I'm done with all the updates for today. Thank you so much for logging on to Qatar Day. Keep loving, keep supporting, keep watching Qatar Day, the pulse of the nation. Me, your host, and those Jennifer Rogers, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. Until then, remember to take care of yourself. It's very important. You eat healthy, you stay healthy, and you stay safe. And until then, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.